Well, welcome back to the channel. Today is the Florida State video. I believe that they're going to have a very interesting start to the season, but let's start them like we always do the other videos. Let's look at their transfer portal, their recruiting rankings, and things like that. They were the #1 team in the country in the transfer portal this year. They brought in a lot of dudes. It's going to take a bit for them to get up to speed, but once they do, watch out. But unfortunately for them, their two biggest games are weeks 1 and 4, so we'll see. But Fentrell Cypress, corner from Virginia, instant transfer. Jaheim Bell, tight end, South Carolina. Keon Coleman, receiver, Michigan State. Braden Frisk, Western Michigan, instant transfer. Jeremiah Briers, UTEP, offensive tackle. Gilbert Edmond, edge, South Carolina. Darrell Jackson, D-line, the U. Tight end, Kyle McCorlick from, I don't even know what that school is. What the heck? Hold on. What school is this? Sorry, I don't know this mascot. He's from the Shorter Hawks. I don't even know what that is. Maybe D2, but 6'7", 250. So another big guy to add to their already big class. But they brought in some other offensive linemen, Casey Roddick and Jeremiah Briers. Looking at this team, they got a lot of overturn on the offensive line. And a lot of turnover on the receivers. As for their actual recruiting, they're #1, obviously, in the country in the transfer portal, according to 24/7. They were 19th only in the country in recruiting, in between Auburn and TCU. So not as high as you'd want to see, but it's what they did. They got 1 5-star, 8 4-stars, and 9 3-stars. Their 5-star was Hakeem Williams from Fort Lauderdale, receiver, 6'3", 200, great player. Lucas Simmons, offensive tackle. They 4-star. Conrad Hussey, safety, 4-star. Blake Nicholson, linebacker, 4-star. Keith Sampson, 4-star defensive line. Lamont Green, 4-star edge, and another receiver. So they brought in a lot of defensive help, right? And it's something that they're going to need, right? You got to beef up when you're going to hopefully play on the national stage. You're going to need good defenses. When you're playing LSU in week 1, you're going to need a good defense. When you're playing Clemson in week 4, you're going to need a good defense. So they're going to have to beef up quickly, and I do believe that they will. As for the rest of their lineup here, Jordan Travis, that's their team. Okay, Jordan Travis, he is a Heisman candidate. He is very good. And I think that he's going to be probably one of the better players that we've seen in a long time in a Florida State jersey. I'm talking back to the Jimbo days. They got in Trey Benson, the running back. He's back. Their new tight ends, Kyle McCorlick, the kid from, I don't even remember what it was called. I already forgot. D2 it has to be, or at least maybe even D3. They brought in Jaheim Bell, athletic freak out of South Carolina. Their offensive line, their right tackle and right guard transfers. They bring back their center, left guard, and left tackle. They bring in one of the better receiver duos in the country, Keon Coleman. Tore Michigan up. Great player, can play basketball as well. He might, honestly, because their basketball team stinks. And then they got Johnny Wilson, 6'7", 235. And I don't know if anyone remembers, but it was week 2. They played, They played Louisville. Actually, it might have been week 3, but early in the season, they played on a Friday night. He had 7 catches, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And this kid, it was like, okay, he's arrived. He's 6'7", 235, big body. Put him with Keon Coleman, and you got Jaheim Bell in there, 6'3", 230. You got a lot going on there. That's a really good offense with Jordan Travis. Noles, they could be back, man. They also bring back Jared Verse. He was likely going to be a top 10, top 15 pick, and probably not top 10, but top 15 to 30 pick. Him or one of the Alabama guys will be one of the first guys off the board. But looking at their schedule, we have to see this now. Against LSU week 1, and it's a neutral site, but it is in Orlando, so it's more of a home game for Florida State. What it was last year, LSU, they played in the Superdome. Obviously, they won on that crazy missed extra point. I think LSU will beat them this season because I'm very high on LSU, but it's a very close game, and it totally defines their season week 1. Then they play Southern Miss, easy win. At Boston College, easy win. Then you go and you play Clemson. And it's at Clemson, and I'm very high in Clemson, as you guys know with the video last week. I think they lose that game, so they really need to win one of the 2 games, either at Clemson or against LSU, because you're not making the playoffs with 2 losses. It's very hard to. You will going forward, but not this season. Then they play Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Duke. 3 easy wins. You go on the road to Wake Forest and on the road to Pitt. Again, 2 more wins. You play Miami at home. It's a revenge game. It's obviously a big rivalry. I still think you take care of business. You have a game, North Alabama, good tune-up before you play at Florida. Florida might not have a head coach by then. We could really see the wheels fall off completely by then. But it's at Florida. It's in the swamp, so it's a good way to revenge the season. Always almost worse when they're really bad, because it's like, okay, we're 5-7. Let's beat them, or 5-6. Let's beat our rivals at home for a bowl eligibility. That would help save Billy Napier's job potentially, and give a lot of juice going into the next season. So for Florida, so it's something to look out for. I do like Florida State a lot, and I think it'd be awesome to see them in the college football playoff. I would, maybe they would play Georgia. Who would know? They'd probably get killed, but. I think that it comes down to LSU. If they beat LSU, that's a good enough win where they could come in with 1 loss and have no problem. If they lose to LSU and then beat Clemson, it could get interesting, because you could potentially see a world where they're 11-1 or 12-1 if they end up winning again in the championship game. If they do it, I forgot who did it. If they avenge their loss with a win in the championship game, obviously we're not having a discussion here, and it'd be, they'd be on paper technically beating every opponent they've played. But again, it's really like if you win both, watch out. If you are 4-0 going into October, it's gonna be max hype season for them. If they end up losing both games, it's over, right? Unless they win in the championship game against Clemson, then they can maybe sneak in. But then it's out of your hands. So as long as you split, it's not a total nightmare. But we know how rational the Florida State fans can be on Twitter. So that's all I got for now. I officially am going to say that they're going to go 11-2. So I think they'll lose to Clemson in the championship game. I know I might have changed it from what I said earlier, but that's just what I have for now. Let me know what you think down below. If you're going to be tomahawk chopping with me. If you're going to be running in on Renegade, stabbing the logo with the flaming spear. Best thing in sports. Place I really want to get to soon. So hopefully I'm down there within the next season or 2. Hopefully with Travis, would be cool. Or maybe I'll see him in the bowl game, in the playoff, in the Rose Bowl, Michigan versus Florida State. Who knows? I was playing Clemson right now, but who knows? Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.